tonight we are talking about hacking into your fat cells, and it's one of the most special things that I've been able to find that I can do, and I'm here just purely to help you be able to understand what is creating your fat cells and why your body is hoarding and storing in your fat cells and what you can do about it. Every single woman deserves to feel totally in love and appreciative of her body, and not have that fear of, oh my God, I'm going out to dinner, I don't know what to eat, I don't know, and having that fear of being confused about food, having fear about food, having all sorts of things going on in her mind, rather than just being totally in love and enjoying her body 100%. So when you're standing in front of the buffet table, you're able to kind of go, I feel so fulfilled in every other way. All my bits are all ticked off. I've done this and I've done that, and I feel fabulous about myself. I love myself. What do I really, really want to eat? And it comes from a different perspective. And tonight I'm going to be talking about how we hack into our fat cells, because there are 3 things that I've found along my journey of being a detox retreat facilitator for the last 12 years. I found that there's 3 things that whenever I'm talking to my clients, I'm finding out that there's pretty much the same thing going on. No woman should be afraid to eat. No woman should be afraid of what she's eating, and certainly not pass that down to any further generations that are going on either. To be confused about what you eat. I want you to feel really radiant in your body. That's why I do what I do. And I would love you to know that it's not actually your fault. The society that we're in, the way we're brought up, the things that we're fed, the information that we're fed about food and health, they're coming from a completely different perspective to where I come from. We're being told to be frightened about food. We're being told to be frightened about our health. We're being told to be frightened about so many things about our bodies, and our bodies are actually there just to love us and just to make us feel very confident and feel fabulous in our bodies. So it's not your fault. Diets are making you fat. The health industry wants you to stay fat, and I certainly do not want that. So no matter what size or shape you are today, I want you to really appreciate your body and really understand what is triggering you to overeat, what's happening when you sabotage yourself, what's happening when you touch on these 3 particular areas that I'm going to go into tonight. And as I've said before, and I will say it again, I am a certifiable, I'm a certified health coach and a holistic health coach. That means I take everything around you into the perspective, into the whole story of what's going on with you. It's never just about the food. There is something going on behind the scenes, and that's why I call it the body code, and that's what we're going to be getting into so that you can hack into your fat cells. There is nothing more responsive than your body to your thoughts and your feelings and the energetic state that you allow yourself to be in. What I teach is how you can change your state in an instant so that you can actually really understand what's going on for you. From a psychological point of view, we know, maybe you don't know this, but we know that fat is there as a protection. Fat basically is there protecting you. It is like being, it's bring a shield for you against whatever you find brings you into that emergency zone, whatever brings you into like, ooh, danger's going on. Fat is there to protect you. I have had lady after lady after lady after lady telling me their stories. I love to hear their stories because I want to change the perspective around those stories for them so that they can understand what's going on for them, and helping them know what it feels like and where they feel it in their body so that they can actually reduce that emergency state in an instant. I had a lady just recently, Lisa. She was going through a divorce. She was leaving her family home that she'd lived in for 30 years with her ex-husband and their 3 children. And it was traumatic for her. She said she was okay. She put on a happy smiley face, as most of us do. But it was quite traumatic, and she didn't know what was coming next. Her daughter had tried to commit suicide. She had to change her job. She was looking to go through the separation, and and that was just being disastrous for her. It was really turning out to be really, really horrible. So she was in a very, very stressed state. And that is one of the things that I know that is affecting 99% of the women who come to me. It is your stress level that is having such a remarkable influence on what your body does and how it creates fat and stores fat. And then, of course, the more fat we get, the more we're stressed out about it, the more angry we get. And what I'm going to teach you tonight is one of the things that really helps you understand where that stress is coming from. Sometimes you don't even know where the stress is coming from because you're so in it, you're so used to it. From an emotional standpoint, overeating or over drinking is an escape. You're looking for relief, and it's there for comfort. And sometimes the only comfort or the only pleasure you've got in your life is food. I deal mostly with quite busy women, successful women. They could be single mums, they could be entrepreneurs, they could be like these sassy women up in the city doing their thing. But you get so busy taking care of everybody else, and you've put yourself last on the list. This is a huge amount of stress, and we're looking for the badge of honour that just says, I'm a busy woman, I can do this. It's a very masculine energy that's going on. It's a very kind of bulldozer your way through. I know for myself, I have that energy. I can have that energy. I can force things through. And it affects you on the belly. It affects you on the belly for 2 different reasons. Your belly is pushing through. Imagine yourself in a car going up a hill, and you're willing that car up the hill. You're willing it. Where do you feel that in your body? I know where I feel it, and I know when I'm trying to force myself through something. It's in my belly. I'm willing that car up. I'm forcing it. It's like an inside pressure that I'm pushing out. That often has a lot to do with the belly. The belly also, because of the stress, has the insulin, and because of the adrenals have been set off, and a lot of adrenaline running around the body, a lot of hormones running around the body that produce more fat cells and lay down fat cells, particularly on the belly. Now, stress is doing this. Stress is doing this because you are in your emergency state. You're in your fight and flight state. And with that, your body goes into lockdown. It goes into an automatic state. It's so ancient. It's so primitive. Our human bodies do this without us even being in control or aware of it. So what I'm going to teach you tonight is how you can reverse that once you're aware of what's going on in your body. It's the reptile brain. We have to be able to soothe it. We have to be able to change it, because what's happening is, as it releases the hormones, as it releases the adrenaline, the cortisol and all that kind of thing, races around your body automatically goes, right, we're ready for a fight, right, we're ready to run. It locks down all the organs, all your digestive system, and it puts all the sugar from your liver that you've got available to you, and it puts it into your muscles. It's going to be ready to fight and flight. When that happens, and if you don't actually need that extra energy, it turns into poison for your body. And when it turns into poison for your body, what happens? That really particularly has to be stored somewhere. Your body protects you, and she stores it in your fat cells. It's like any other toxin. If you talk about food and going clean and go natural, your body stores it in your fat cells. So you can see that it's not just what you're eating. It's actually got a lot of things going on behind the scenes that I want you to be very, very aware of. The reason that I run the retreats that I run is purely because I can get people out of their normal zones. I can get them out of their hustle and bustle. I can take them away to a place where they can start acting and being who they are on the inside, what really makes them tick on the inside. And they can understand and begin to feel and know when they are stressed, when these things are going on for them. One of the main things, as I've said, 99% is stress. That is one of the main things that we're going to cover off tonight. You have to know that there's nothing as responsive than the body to your thoughts and your feelings. So once you sort that out, you can watch your body relax and morph. And it's way easier than you think. Stress has certainly had a huge influence on my body. I know for sure that even though I was eating the healthiest foods available to me, I was doing just naturally my utmost, like with great food, not a lot of fat, not a lot of sugar, not a lot of all the other things that are supposedly affecting your body. But my body was not responding. It was not letting go of a damn thing. And do you know why? It was purely because I was so stressed. I was stressed as a mother at home. I was running a business. I never had any time off for myself. I never took any time off for myself. I just thought it was my responsibility to earn the money and get out there and work. I never took care of myself. I took care of everybody else first. Now, what I teach is take care of yourself first, second, and third. There's something quite important that I want you to know. That is, more than anything, it's not your fault. It is a very automatic response that your body goes into. And we do surround ourselves with certainly plenty of other people and instances and jobs, and we allow ourselves to be influenced. So it's not your fault, but you can change that. You can change what you think and you can change what you feel. I know that I've done it in the past. I've changed my negative thoughts to positive thoughts. It is possible. So one of the main things we're talking about tonight, the way to hack into your fat cells, we have to be able to get over the levels of stress that you're carrying around in your body. I would like you to know where that stress comes from, because once you know where that stress comes from, you know what's triggering you. You know what's setting you off, and either that sets you off into your primal state, fight and flight, it sets you off into overeating, it sets you off into so many different other things. So being able to overcome stress is a biggie. You need to know where that stress is coming from. So I've got 3 questions for you. Before we go into those questions, I would love you to just get into your most relaxed state. This is something I teach in great detail on my little program called Peace with Food. And I'll put the link in here later. And it's a no-brainer. I've had such great responses from people who say, I'm dealing with it. I know where my stress is coming from. Everything's turned around. I've got a better relationship with my family, got a better relationship with my partner. My work's working out better. There are so many different things that you can do. So peace with food, peace within your body, and then peace with everything else that's going on in your environment. You need to be able to change your stress once you know where that stress is in your body. I'm going to ask you some questions now to do with this particular subject. Are you ready? Knowing that the body is storing fat to protect you, wouldn't you really like to know where those triggers are coming from for you? And I would really love to have your feedback to find out what it is that is affecting you on this physical stress scale. So if anybody's watching and wants to tell me where it comes from, for you, that's great. Or just PM me and I will be able to respond, and I'll be able to pick that up for you and help you know what your next step is as well. So one of the first questions that I ask is, what do you have on fun? Fun has a particular feeling, a particular vibration in the body. So just make a note of 3 things that are fun for you. What things make you feel fun and give you so much fun? What are they? What goes on that makes you go, oh my God, that was so much fun. I've got to do that again. I feel so fulfilled and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so happy. What are those things? What have you got on fun? I want you to feel the difference in the feeling of fun is just absolutely awesome. It's the same way that I deal with your stress gauge. Like, this is your highest range of stress and this is your most relaxed space. You have to know where you are at any given time. So if you're having fun, what is it that creates fun and that feeling of like, oh my God, that was amazing. That was so much fun. All right. So that's my first question for you tonight. Then I want you to think of 3 things that make you feel have so much joy and pleasure. Completely different to fun. It's different. It's different. It's good, but it's still different. 3 things that make you feel great joy and great pleasure. What brings you pleasure? It could be luxury items, it could be events, it could be theatre, it would be quite different to fun. So get that very clear with yourself. The third question I have for you is, what makes you feel so uncomfortable? So uncomfortable. Oh my God, your body is just reacting that you want to run. What makes you feel so uncomfortable that makes you run? You'll know it, you'll feel it, and you'll just go, oh my God, yeah. Oh, that, I just want to run out of there. I just want to get away with it. So take your time and just write that down, but keep an eye on those questions as well. And what makes you feel so uncomfortable that you would stand up and fight for your rights or fight for the rights of somebody else? What makes you stand up and fight? Those are just 4 of the most powerful questions I know that help you to understand what's going on in your body. Not only can you begin to feel it, because I'm very much into feelings, what goes on inside the body, but you'll be able to understand what makes you feel emergency zone. What really is triggering you. What's triggering you to want to run? Oh God, I just want to get out of there. I can't stand it anymore. And what makes you want to fight? Oh my God, I can't stand that. That's just over my boundaries. That's enough. So those are 4 very important things to know. So you've got the fight and flight. Thank you, Maya. And you've got the complete freedom and fun and feeling so open and vibrant. That's the range that I want you to understand, the range of the emotions that you can go through. And you need to be very aware of that if you're going to overcome your stress levels. The second thing that we're going to talk about tonight that really, really affects an awful lot of women's bodies is scarcity. Scarcity is something that I never knew would make that kind of effect on me, and what it does to the body is something quite different to what stress does. It is its form of stress, but scarcity has a different kind of energy to it. Scarcity is when you're coming from lack, when you worry about the future, and your body starts to worry about the future. There's not enough coming. There's not enough. I have to hoard and store what we have access to right now, because maybe we have to use that in the future. There's an energy there where your body's actually reacting to your thoughts of lack. As soon as you think, there's not enough of this, or there's not enough of that, as soon as you start worrying about your future, as soon as you start being concerned where the next penny is going to come from. Now, I went through this. I went through this when I became a single mum. I went through this when I realised I was the only one financially supporting my children, putting a roof over my head and their head. I know that this made a huge influence on how my body reacted, but I only picked it up later. The reason I picked it up later was because I was so in it. I was just coping. I was in coping mode. I was in survival mode. I didn't know what was going on for me on a physical level. I was responding. I was responding, and I was like, kept hearing myself saying, right, well, I can't do this now, maybe later, I can't promise, maybe we can do that later. And my body just went into storing mode. It became very, very efficient at storing. And that only worked, that only happened because my whole energy around me was to do with scarcity. Now, scarcity is something that not everybody has felt, but it does definitely make a huge difference on how your body reacts. Now, I'm going to put my notes on scarcity. One of the main things that we can do when we feel that the body is in scarcity mode, one of the main issues to do with scarcity is lack of love, lack of support, lack of finances, lack of money. There's something that we need to be able to do here to get rid of this fundamental, this base value that we're pretty much scared of, and we're really running in just in scarcity mode, just in lack, and it has such an effect. So the diet mentality is also kind of a mirror of the scarcity mode as well, because we are starving ourselves and we don't trust that anything's coming forward in the future. So being told as a child that we have to save for a rainy day, we have to worry about the future. You always have to have a nest egg to fall back on. You can't depend on anybody. Yeah. Don't spend it all at once. Save some for later. Keep that for a rainy day. You never know when you might need it. All these things can come to us from very strong people and very strong influences, parents, teachers, mentors, people that we hold in great esteem. They can put these particular energies onto you about scarcity, and let's make sure that we have enough, because we're not trusting ourselves, our ability to earn money, our ability to know what foods to eat, our ability to take care of our family. We're not trusting that, and we're not trusting the universe. Some of these things are actually brought down to us via our hereditary line, our ancestral line as well. So, for example, mothers, grandmothers, those kind of things with great big store cupboards. And if you think about the war generations, they stored so much food. So not only did they teach us that, but sometimes we've taken that on in our DNA, and we've taken that on in our mental attitude as well, in that we are storing and hoarding for bad times ahead. One of the things that happened for me when I went through a past life regression, I understood that I was hoarding and storing because in a previous life I had been part of a tribe, and I'd got sick, I'd broken a leg, or I was old, and I was left behind. So there you were left to starve. That was just, we can't carry you, therefore you stay here and you starve. So then, because you can't forage and you can't feed yourself, again, you're holding on to everything, and there's a great fear about being left behind. Some of the things in your present state that might affect you to do with scarcity and how that affects the body is you haven't got enough to last you. Your job is insecure. You are your face doesn't fit in your job. Whatever reasons that you feel worried about your future because of your job. When you become divorced, or when you become single, or as like myself, a single mum, so you've got no support financially or otherwise, you've got nobody to sort of hold you up and have your back on something. You know, you have those questions in your head of, am I going to have enough to survive? When we're on the diet mentality that we're restricting food, our body kind of goes, oh God, you're restricting food? Whoa, well, everything you take, it don't matter what it is, I'll store it and I'll hoard it. That even goes to like water retention. It retains so much because it feels like you're going to starve it. That there's not enough to last. When can I eat again? And also because you have that list of foods that you can and can't eat. So that's going to make an impact on your body as well, because your body's going to feel, oh God, I can't have whatever I want. I've got to stick to the list. We've done this before. It was painful. I didn't like it. We're not trusting our bodies. The same as when you're counting calories. We have that. Oh, well, I'll better just keep the calories that I've got. There's a funny little story that somebody once said to me, you are the richest woman that I know. You have your own house, you have your own business, but you are mentally still coming from lack. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting, because I hadn't heard myself saying some of the things that I was saying. So, for example, if the children were asking to go and do something, I was kind of saying, oh, maybe later, maybe when we have some more money coming in, or maybe later, we can't afford that right now. So just be aware of the kind of language that you're using, and just see how that's actually, how you're probably holding on to that, and how you're probably actually in the energy, but maybe you weren't actually aware of it. You become so habitually aware that you're in that energy that you can't necessarily see it or change it for yourself. It's very interesting to find out if you have that going on. Lack of time. I was running around going, oh my God, what a waste of time this is. I felt that there was a lack of time. So lack, scarcity can come in lots of different forms, but the energy is still the same. The energy is still that you are holding on. I'm going to hold on to what I've got. I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be really tight. Like the Scotsman with short arms and long pockets. I'm not going to dig into my wallet. I'm not going to do those kind of things. So you hoard. Some of the main ways that we can get rid of that is we need to be able to change our mindset. So first, one of the main things that we can do is actually, maybe it is warm. Maybe I'll just move you. Sometimes you just have to be very inventive. Okay. So, where do we go? That's not going to work. Oh, sometimes we are inventive. All right. So I'll just move myself to fit in with the phone. All right. So mentally, we need to be able to change our mindset about certain things, and releasing some of the 5 biggest emotions and the 5 biggest mental blocks that we have is a great way to get past this, and so that we actually feel that we are, whoopsie, more abundant than we were before. This is so interesting, isn't it? That I have to kind of keep moving things around. All right, let's just see how this works. That says the body code. All right. So, yeah, keep being interrupted. Never mind. So, yeah, so the great thing that we can do is that we can actually change our mindset about things. We can change our perspective about things. So everything isn't quite as dire and as negative as we thought. And being able to get into the feeling of trust, which is the opposite of sort of worrying and fearful, if we can get into the feeling of trust, that really has a big effect on the body. Now, what I found in my studies just recently with working with people when I'm body scanning them is that trust sits in a very, very special place within the body. Trust actually sits along the backbone, behind the navel. And when we don't trust, it's kind of floppy, and it's kind of doesn't have any firmness to it. But when we trust in ourselves and when we trust in the universe, it's a real tight feeling. It's a really firm, supported feeling. Now, can you see how that's completely different to coming from lack or from coming from worry? And when you can feel that in your body, yeah, I trust myself. So we need to be able to change our mindset and be able to change our words about what we're doing. And that way, our body will not be hoarding and storing onto the fat cells that we're habitually hanging onto and hoarding when we're in this particular lack and scarcity situation. So we need to become very aware of how we're feeling and our words and everything else. The best thing to do there, the easiest way to change your mindset about something, so I've got a little exercise for you there, is to plan what you want in the future. If you don't know what you want in the future and you don't know how it feels, you're kind of like a client of mine. She came, Emily. She felt that she was blowing around like a rag doll. She really wasn't getting what she wanted, but she was just so responsive to other people's energy, and she was having it very difficult. She couldn't understand what was going on for her. She was empathic. She was picking up the energy of her boss. So when she came on the retreat, yes, we got her body into a completely different state. We've reset her, we've reprogrammed her, and we understood that the main thing that was causing her stress when she was in work was this particular guy that she worked with. So by going into this state, this non-stress state, when you find out how you feel on the inside, you get into your grounded state, she understood what she felt like. So then I invited her, now channel yourself into this guy. Imagine that he's standing next to you, or you're standing in front of him and you're having to do your presentation. Her whole body changed. And I said, is that your energy or is that his energy? She goes, I know what my energy is like. She said, that's not my energy at all. That's his energy. So she was empathically picking up the energy of this guy. So you can see that you are being influenced by things that actually are in your environment, people who are in your environment. And that can affect your stress, and that can affect the words and things that you use as well. What I got this young lady to do was work on what she wanted instead. And within 2 days with her being with me on a retreat here in the south of France, she got headhunted and she got a new job offer. And then 2 days later, as the day she was leaving, she got another one. Her energy had totally shifted, and she wasn't accepting the doom and the gloom and the sort of not good enough and lack and all that kind of stuff that was coming in from somebody else. I also taught her how she could do that on a daily basis. So basically, tell me what kind of job you want, tell me what kind of life you want. Let's plan that out, and let's get beyond what's affecting and what's influencing you, so that we can hack into your fat cells and we can understand and see what's going on for you, so that that's just not going to be a problem anymore, so that you can know how you feel about things. So every day she writes in a journal, the same as I do and all my other clients do now, and we get into our journal and we tell ourselves what's coming next. We set up our energy, we set up our day so that we're not going to be influenced. We know exactly how we feel, we know exactly what we want, and that's how we do it. We get ourselves into the state when we're feeling the abundance, when we're feeling the new job coming, when we're feeling the boyfriend coming, When we're feeling fabulous in our bodies, we're creating that on a very different level. It's all good fun. It's absolutely all good fun. I absolutely love it. The third thing that I'm going to cover off with you tonight, and then I'm just going to go through a very brief exercise with you. How you can hack into your fat cells is knowing that the third thing is influencing and affecting your body on a pretty major scale too. It's the habit of being stationary. When Mandy came to me on my retreat here in the south of France, she came to reset her body, she came to reset her hormones, she came to reset her digestive system. She said, I'm on pause. She said, I've been on pause for I couldn't tell you how long. And she said, I'm so fed up now of knowing that I want more out of life. I deserve more. And I said, I couldn't agree more. She'd been in survival mode because she'd felt fear of lack. She'd been in survival mode because she was frightened of kind of moving forward and doing something that would, bust her world apart. She'd been stationary. One of the things I love to do with ladies when they come here, we have a very elite group of ladies who come here and they have an intensive week with me, one-on-one. I unzip them. So that who they really are, when they're away from all the nonsense, when they're away from all the people who say you can't do that, when they're away from all the problems and stress and work and worries, they become relaxed and you can see them visually change. I unzip them, I bring them out of their cocoon so that they can actually see what's going on and what else is available for them. They can start taking action, putting themselves first, second and third. Oh my God, it's amazing to watch how they meet themselves, they meet their soul, they can move forward and they're just more vibrant and having much more fun with life. Mandy came to me as a woman who was really, like I said, on pause. And again, by the end of the week, she was a different woman. She knew exactly what she wanted out of her life and she was going to go for it. She was writing her journal. She was de-stressing herself in every single moment that she could possibly think of. I've continued working with her and she has just gone from strength to strength to strength. She's now a mum. I heard the other week that she's now a mum, and that's why I'm talking about Mandy. She met the love of her life on an internet site, much as I did, because I helped her understand how it is that she can open up herself, her mind, change her perspective, open up to her body and watch all the weight go and hack into her fat cells. She now says, I just feel alive. It's been life-changing, absolutely fabulous. Okay, so there is one exercise that I want to show you tonight that makes a huge difference. So other than doing the journal and answering those questions that I asked you before about what you have on fun, what you have on joy and pleasure, what makes you feel so uncomfortable that you want to run, what makes you feel so uncomfortable that you want to fight, so that you know what's triggering you. It's very important that you get to know yourself on a very gentle basis, but just you know yourself, you know what you stand for, you know who you are. Many people travel, they go on the Santiago de Compostela like I did. I travelled around the world. We go to find ourselves. And in 7 days, can you imagine that you're in a completely different body? You've got a completely different mindset because you've put certain things in place. All right. And as I've said before, I wanted to just say this now. You are in this body. You came down on this planet to have an experience in this physical body so that you could feel every fantastic thing that was available to you. To be essential, to find that you love swimming, you love the water on your skin, you love this particular kind of material, you love these sounds, you love these smells, you love being held, you love feeling safe and secure. To live the kind of life and create the kind of life that you came here to create. If we're just looking at food, it's very one-dimensional. You might as well be going to the doctor and getting a pill. It's one dimension. I talk about all the dimensions that make you feel totally feminine and totally who you were meant to be. Let's get rid of the stress, let's get rid of the scarcity, and let's get rid of being stationary, on pause, living in survival mode. Your body is vibrant. It deserves so much more, and so do you. Okay, so one of the things I want you to do right now is just to relax your body. Feel as relaxed as you possibly can. I want you to have, you can do this lying down, or you can do this sitting up. And you can feel your feet on the floor, or feel your body on wherever you lie, the weight of it. Just feel the weight of it. Concentrate on your breath. Concentrate on how it feels when the air comes into your body and when it leaves. Be able to feel the turning point where the air actually turns in your body. Within that, within the turning place in your neck and in the turning place in your groin, there's like a flap that opens and lets the air in and lets the air out. Bring all your attention inside your body. Get out of your head. Bring your attention inside your body. Now feel your heartbeat. Feel the rhythmic pumping of your heart. So between your lungs, breathing, the breath coming in and out of your body, now feel your heart inside your body. Feel every single limb just, relax a little bit more. Feel your belly relax and melt away. Your shoulders are releasing. This grip in your hands is releasing. Bring the energy up and over your head and let your face relax. Your facial expression is just going to relax just a little bit more. The eyes in the sockets, your jaw, and your tongue in your mouth. Now, whatever's going on in your head, whatever thoughts you have, whatever busy, stressful, scarcity, worries that you've got going on in your head, just encase them all right now in a really beautiful, clear bubble. With as many big breaths as it takes, just let that energy, all the awareness and all your consciousness come down into your body, so that you can be very much in your body and not in your head. And I've got 1 or 2 questions to ask you when we're in this state. Bringing everything into your body, just bringing all your consciousness and awareness into your body so that it lies around your heart area. Ask yourself at the moment what your stress level is. Could you relax any more? Feel your body just relax a little bit more. I'm going to ask you that again. Can you feel your body relax? Could you relax any further? And as always, whenever I do this, Maya, my little dog, comes, because she likes the energy. Could you relax any further than this? Maybe you're frightened to relax a little bit further because you're being so used to being vigilant. You always have to have your ears open and be on guard. And that can come from so many different reasons. Abuse as a child, having to be sent off to boarding school, rows in the family home, being picked on. Oh, so many different reasons. Bring all your energy down. All right, that's great. And if you're watching this later, you can watch this over and over and over again. Every single day, bring yourself into your most relaxed state. It will pay dividends, I can assure you. 2 questions now. I want you to ask your body to show you when she has her yes response to something. When she feels that the thing that you're asking her is completely and utterly right for you. It could be a person, a place, an invitation, something you're going to eat, something you're going to buy. Just ask your body now, please show me my definitive sway or feeling in my body for yes. And see whether you can grasp what she's actually showing you. When you're in this relaxed state, just let your body show you what your yes is. It's like dowsing. Now ask her again, please show me my definitive direction and feeling in my body for yes. Okay, thank you. And now we're going to ask your body, please show me my definitive direction for no. No, I don't want to do that. No, that's not right for me. I shouldn't buy this. It's not what I really want. This person is not affecting me in a nice way. How does your body react to that? I want you to be very aware of how your body reacts. So please show me my definitive direction or sway for no. And maybe you can just tap into what's happening in your body. Know that when you know how your body reacts and the subtle feelings that she gives you, that's you tuning in to your body, the intelligence, the wise woman in your body. And that's what I work with. That's what I introduce you to on these exclusive retreats that I run. Teach you how to eat again. Teach you to have a brand new relationship with food. If this is resonating with you and you know that you want to take things further, you want to release the stress, you want to be able to release the fat that's stored up in your fat cells, this is how we do it. And this is what I do with you and every single client that comes on one of my retreats here, and I take care of you. Imagine having so much quality rest, complete and utter rest. Imagine being taken care of, having a holiday with no interruptions, so that you can get into a very, very safe place within your own body, and you can find out what it is that you want the most. And we can start planning your future. And you can go away with a very, very specific designed eating habit and what kind of job you want, what kind of relationships you want. But let's just concentrate on the food, and you can learn to eat again and enjoy food. Can you imagine that? Being able to be at the buffet table and not have any fear, no worries about what you eat or the effects of that food on your body, because you are in a different state. You're not stressed, you're not coming from lack, and you're certainly not coming from playing the waiting game, because you're waiting for life to happen. This is how you make life happen for you. I am Fiona Robertson. I'm a certified health coach, a holistic health coach, helping you get into your body so that you can dare to feel awesome, so you can dare to feel magnificent every single day in your body, and so that your body starts reacting how you want it to react. I totally love seeing people transform and change. The ladies that I've had with me over the last 12 years have got a lot of what I have to offer, and it's just getting more and more as I'm understanding what's going on in people's bodies and why they're hoarding and storing fat and all the different ways that we can release it. You can hear that my voice has changed. You can hear that I'm more relaxed when I've done my relaxation meditation. There's an awful lot going on behind the scenes. It is so simple to change when you know what it is that you need, what you want, and what you're presently lacking the most. Your body will respond. There's nothing more responsive than your body to your thoughts and your feelings and the energy state that you're in. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to help you when you're ready to move further on. I'm going to put a link to everything that I offer, the programs that I offer, and the Peace with Food that we talked about earlier on, that teaches you in depth about the techniques that I use. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to wish you a very pleasant evening, and please feed back to me and let me know anything that you need that I've talked about here, or that you struggle with. There's no need to do this on your own. You're not alone. You have support. You have me every single day. You have me. I am your cheerleader. I want this to work out for you. So I'm going to bid you good night, and I'm going to bid you a very pleasant journey, a very, very pleasant journey with your body later on this evening, because you've done this meditation. Okay, bye-bye now.